Papaducci, and you are watching Gov's Radio. This is where you go if you want to see something or if you want to hear something funny. Coming up in just a couple minutes. This is a joke I told. What? I'm not on Gov Radio? Call the police. Call my agent. Hi.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Mark Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
A show about nothing. They both are really funny.
Good idea.
They just go with the flow. It's the Hershey and Keegs Show.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night, 9 p.m., and you could feel it from the soul down to the brush hole. We are the Hershey and Keegs Show live. We are happy to be here. We're back. We were off for a couple weeks. Mike Keegan, Mark Hirschman, Tony Walker on the ones and twos over there. We're going to have some fun tonight.
I don't even know, technically speaking, if my soul and Brajol are too far from each other. I think that there's, in proximity-wise, it's not
true.
not that far. But yes, well, it's good to be here.
Whatever distance it is.
Tony, we love you. Thanks for coming. Keegs, good to be here. 2 weeks off. Last week we were off because, as Mike says, Mark is a Jewish.
You are definitely a Jewish.
I'm a
so
Jewish.
That's why we missed last week.
It's interesting. We actually were supposed to. We had planned to have NFL special teams coach sensation Mike Westhoff on the show, and then what happened was he had gotten blasted in the hurricane. Blasted. He canceled all of his appearances here in New York for that week, and then once that happened, I was like, you know what? The right thing for me to do is to take a step back because I am a Jewish, and it is the highest holy day, and you agreed, and we took the road less traveled, took the week off, but we're back with a vengeance tonight, though.
Did you at least take the day to atone for your sins?
I've been atoning all week since then, and it's still not working, but I did the right thing. I felt good about it. Thank you for supporting me about it, and
of course.
a lot of good things have happened since then, so maybe
I respect
the atonement.
your religion.
No, you don't at all. No, you don't.
Nothing else.
You don't at all.
No, I
you
don't.
couldn't respect it less.
I'm the Kanye West of supporting your religion.
Oh, God.
No, I like the Jews.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, that's because that's your accountant. Yeah, so some good things have happened. I mean, I think we should start with probably was it yesterday or 2 days ago we were together?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. So let's we'll go back to if you guys remember, we posted a picture a couple of weeks ago, and we've talked about the Hirschman family friend Tina Brescia, who was undergoing breast cancer treatment.
Hey, Tina, one more to go.
Yeah, she's got one more left, and so the good people over at Impressions Dance Studio, Miss Laura, who's owner and operator, her and I decided to organize this comedy fundraiser, and Laura sold a slew of tickets, and we had the comedy fundraiser to raise money for Tina and family on Sunday. And I will tell you, and I don't know if you believe me, I don't know if Monty does either, but I had nothing to do with the lineup whatsoever.
I thought you might have had something to do with Monty being on.
No, it had nothing to do with Monty or you, but when I texted Andrea on Friday to say, well, how was the ticket sales and blah, 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 and she basically said, here's the lineup, and she mentioned you, me, and Monty. So certainly for me, you and Monty being two of my closest friends in comedy and in life,
the stars aligned.
It did align, and listen, man, we talk about this all the time. Part of making comedy fun is when you have a good green room and you're with people you love, and that did happen, and we had a great show, and
what a night.
I don't think it could have worked out much better, honestly.
No,
You know?
everybody did really well.
Yeah, I mean,
the crowd was great. It was sold out here.
Yep.
We had the little Max came by.
oh yeah. So that was we'll get to that
into
story. But Tina's family was here. Her parents, her siblings, I think, and Sal, her husbands, and even some of the kids came. So it was magnificent, and I think it meant a lot for the family. I know it meant a lot to me, and it was just one of those days that you look back, over your years in comedy, and you say that was one of the best.
That was one of the best nights. It really was.
Yeah.
We had fun. It was so relaxed back here in the green room.
Right.
We got to watch each other do well. I recorded your set, came out great. We
Yeah.
got to, and then you and I, my favorite part is the end of the night, me and you sitting in the back of the room just watching Monty do his thing.
That was terrific, really good. So I want you to tell the story. So I had asked you. I said, I don't have any good tape from recent sets. So I wanted you to tape me. So you took my phone and you were recording, and you were getting apparently peppered with text messages. Tell us about that.
I'm trying to record you, and I'm like, oh, this asshole did not put it on airplane mode.
Oh shit!
If it's on airplane mode, the recording's not going to be interrupted.
Right.
So I felt terrible. It was Max. Max, your son, was texting you and trying to FaceTime you.
Mad texting.
And all I'm doing is fucking sending it right to voicemail, and
I love this.
and Xing out the FaceTime messages. And then I see the last message I see. It's like, Dad, please call me when you're finished doing that thing.
So he wanted me to contact him as soon as I was done with the thing I was doing.
The thing you were doing.
The
exactly.
thing, which was at the time he was barraging Mike with texts, was being on stage for 12 minutes or whatever it was. So I get out to the green room and I text him like, Max, what is it? What's going on? He's like, let me in. And I'm like, let you in where? He's like, let me in the club. I'm in the back of the club. I'm like by the cow? He's like, yeah, let me in. I'm like, why? He said, I need to charge my phone. Because he was over here that whole day with his friends. He had friends who live on the block from here, and they just happened to kind of end their day. So Max had his bike. He was kind of, free balling by himself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you can't. I'm like, how do you even know I was on stage? He's like, I drove to the front of the club right when I pulled up. Your set came on. So
you didn't explain to him that they always just play your set in the front of to lure people in?
That's it, the whole day, 24/7.
Yeah.
No, so he rolled up. He goes, I heard a girl say Herschy and the Keegs, and then so I just started listening. So he heard my whole set, totally inappropriate.
Oh my God.
And then he navigated his way to the back of the club.
I'm glad he got to hear about you talking about having sex with his mother.
Yeah, exactly, right. So we talk about that all the time over dinner. But so he got to hang out with you and Monty for a couple of minutes, and then the show was going to go on for another half hour, 45 minutes. So I just took him, threw his bike in the car, and drove him home. And then I came back within 15 minutes. I live so close to here.
Yeah.
But it was funny that he wanted me to charge his phone once.
I'm like, oh my God, he's here to support his dad. Great kid. No, I just wanted to charge his phone.
It was hilarious. So yeah, it was just a super, super day, and I don't know, like I said, it's just one of those days that
you know what? I always dread daytime comedy shows, especially on a Sunday. I'm missing football. I'm missing the Bills game.
Right.
And that was just a special one. It's weird. The show's over, and I walk out to the lobby, and it's still light outside.
Right.
You know? But it was just such a great day, such a special day.
Yeah, I mean, so the show was originally supposed to be at the Brokerage, and then there was a conflict, so they moved us here, and they made it a day show, and I wasn't really happy about it. And then, honestly, once Tina and Sal and everyone was like, no, it's no big deal, I'm like, well, who am I to complain? Like, she's the one who's...
Who's Mark Hirschman to complain?
Exactly. I mean, she's the one who's going through what she's going through. So they were happy with it. It worked out super. And, it was just a great day. So I'm glad you were a part of it.
Yeah. They were great. I met Sal as soon as I walked in the door coming here. I walk in the door. Hey, Keegs! I'm like, oh, hey, guy I don't know yet. And
he's a lover of the show.
Super nice guy.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I think I told you, or maybe I didn't. I'm not sure, but he grew up and graduated high school with Mike Champy in Limbrook.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So there's a connection there.
Oh, nice. My dad went to that high school, Limbrook.
Yeah.
He was an owl.
Yep.
An owl.
Exactly. Who?
My dad. That's
okay. Who's on first? So that was awesome. And I don't know. It was a great way to really to start the weekend or be in the middle of the weekend or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Exactly. And I thought for sure you weaseled your way to have me and Monty on the show.
No.
Hey, Andrea, you mind? This is my Mark Herschy.
Do it. Let's hear it.
Andrea, do you mind if we put Keegan and Monty on the show? They're family friends. And we've known each other a long time. And it's gonna be. But no, that was.
If I would have done it, it would have sounded like this. Hey, Andrea, can you get Keith Anthony and Chris Roach on the show?
That is true. I figured
that's what it would have been.
You would have shot a little higher.
Hey, fuck you, Keegan. Hey, fuck you. So that was awesome. What else happened? I don't know if I had even told you this, but Anna, our house the other day.
Who was here? She was here.
Anna was here. Anna
awesome.
and her besties were here, which is phenomenal.
Great kids.
But for the first time in Hirschman home history, we were the victims of a toilet papering.
No.
Because the athletes, and she's the captain of the soccer team. So we, and I was actually like, you'd think I would have been neurotic and crazy about it.
Oh
but
my God,
you want to hear the funniest thing is that we were across the street at the neighbor's house, and I went home to feed the dogs. And what happened was I went into the back of the house to get some more dog food, and as I was coming from the back of the house to the front of the house came under siege with the toilet papering.
Really?
So I had to hide in the back of the fucking house because I didn't want these kids to see me to think like I was going to freak out.
Yeah.
So I'm hiding in the back, and you hear like all this crazy screaming, spray painting, swastikas, all that they were doing, crosses, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
I love Division Avenue High School with the burning crosses. It's
so
adorable.
So basically, I had to stay in the back of the house.
T, Jew.
I had to stay in the back of the house, and I couldn't even really see what was going on. And I came out, and we were blanketed. Okay,
Really?
So I was like, oh man, this is cool. My kid's cool. This is and then of course at 6 o'clock, I realized that it's going to start pouring out, so I have to go scurry outside and start cleaning up toilet paper because otherwise it'll be a wet, soggy toilet paper hell.
Yeah.
But
how long did it take you to clean it up?
Oh, it was just forever. It was just an eternity.
Yeah.
And then, of course, nothing could ever be easy in the Hirschman world. Aside from the toilet paper being all over the house and the cars, three of the rolls got stuck in the high part of the gutter. So Stacey's like, you better call someone. You better get on a ladder. I'm like, can't we just fucking get toilet paper like regular people?
Normal. Even you can't even get toilet paper.
I can't even get toilet paper wrong.
Oh, man. When I was in high school, my dad was in your position. He would have fucking yelled at the people. People. My dad would have gone nuts because he's such a maniac about his property. But I played football in high school, so there was a night where the kick line comes over and decorates the bedroom of the football players.
Oh, so they have to come in the house.
They come in the house.
Okay.
And they decorate your room.
Okay.
So because my dad was like, they're not going to toilet paper my house. That's something he was afraid of.
Okay.
Because my dad's not. You're not allowed to walk on his front lawn.
Oh wow!
If
I didn't know that.
You walk on my dad's front lawn. He fucking anytime there's an Amazon delivery or the mailman comes by, he turns on the sprinklers so that they won't walk. Wow,
this is not a well man.
Yeah. He's a nut job. So I remember one time I had a party in high school. My parents were in Rochester visiting my aunt.
Okay.
And I had a rager. We just got back from football camp, and I had fucking 3 grades of people in my house. A rager. And
guys just whacking off on each other left and right.
No chicks. We were just that's what I meant by rager.
Yes, of course. What else would it be? What else would it be?
So at one point I'm like, there's people I don't want here. So then I started kicking people out and shit. And at some point they all drove back and started egging my house and shit. So
my God!
My dad comes back and I cleaned up as best as I could.
Yeah.
But the front lawn was flat. It was mud. You could tell everyone trampled his front lawn.
Oh my God!
I was so scared. The day that they were coming back, I was in the front lawn. I was raking the lawn to try to get the grass to stand back.
Oh
up.
wow! You're irrigating the lawn for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, exactly.
You were cultivating.
And when I didn't have time to clean up the eggs, and my fucking dad lost his shit.
Oh man!
But
so I want to hear. I want to hear about. They go into your room. There's dry tissue all over the place.
Dude, my
socks that are standing on attention.
I have a friend because we knew that they go into our room. One of my buddies that I played football with, and he had a loft bed.
Yeah,
and
I love a
his
loft bed.
wall. he would just pick his nose and wipe it on the wall.
Oh,
and
that's
what he
delicious.
was and every time we slept over his house, we'd see it. It's just a wall of boogers.
Cool.
The day that they were coming over to decorate the room, he had a spatula, and he was scraping the boogers off his wall.
Oh, that's so
Because he
cool,
knew the
yeah.
Rockettes from East Meadow High School were coming to...
Right.
Yeah, so there was a booger-free wall. My room, my mother got donuts for them when they came over. And they,
Oh, my
you know,
God.
put
So adorable.
streamers around my room. So I think I still have stuff up there from when they did it.
And no boogers in your room.
No boogers in my room. There's
that-
a lot of semen, but not so many.
You don't mean boat people, do you?
No, that's what I meant. It was Fleet Week. It was
Fleet Week. I like that. It was Fleet Week. Oh, man.
There's so much semen on my bed. You would have thought it was Fleet Week.
Jesus.
All right, there we go. That's my new closer.
I wasn't sure what time to bring this up in the show, but
Probably right now. I would say 9:16.
I think around 9:16. Listen, the truth is, there's never a good time to talk about a somber moment or collection of moments, but we talked about this during the week, and there was a celebrity death today to go along with a couple of other deaths. So I think it's a good time to do a little in memoriam section that we had talked about. We'll start with one of your childhood crushes. Very sad news today that. Yeah. Wow. Good production work,
Good
Cone.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Angela Lansbury had passed today.
The gorgeous
Yeah.
sex symbol of 1927.
Murder, She Wrote.
Murder, She Wrote. I'll tell you one thing. I loved Angela. My grandmother was a big fan of Angela Lansbury.
Of course
Every
she
time
was.
I'd go over her house, we'd watch Murder, She Wrote. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks was one of my favorite movies growing
You're
up.
a weird child.
I was a big. She was like the teapot, also, wasn't she? In Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
You're
a weird boy.
British.
She's a legend. So, that one I knew was going to hit home for you today.
It really did. I mean, once I saw that, it took all the wind out of my
Yeah,
sails.
you-
I just wanted to. When's the Angela Lansburial? Oh,
God
all right.
in heaven.
You don't want to do this anymore.
Wow.
The
show?
No, the whole show,
Show,
all together.
the whole
right?
show?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can keep on doing it. The one that I really wanted to talk about, which did affect
Were
me.
you an Angela Lansbury fan?
No, I loved her. I adored her. I thought a lot about her during my life.
Yeah.
Bernard McGurk from WFAN
Yes.
Radio had passed the other day,
Yeah.
and that hit home for me because I was a big Bernard fan. I'll be honest. When people our age-ish were listening to Stern back in the day, I was an Imus guy.
Yeah.
So I was listening to Charles McCord and Bernard McGurk and Imus, and I loved it. I thought his impersonations were on point. He was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then once I was in Kohl's shopping for myself, maybe my mom and dad lived in Oceanside at the time, and Bernard was from that area, and I saw him in Kohl's, and I introduced myself.
Really? That's
and he was
awesome.
super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So
And it's weird because they had an affair, him and Angela Lansbury at one
they
point.
did at Kohl's.
At Kohl's.
Yeah, they did.
They made you watch.
So rest in peace to those lovers.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And they're back together again.
Two of the fucking scariest looking people I've ever seen
Yeah.
in my life.
They're back together again.
They're back together in.
So rest in
eternal-
peace to Bernard and to Angela Lansbury. And there's one more that actually hit home to the Long Island comedy community. I feel like kind of a shitty person talking about this death because it's not that timely. I personally just found out a couple of days ago. You might have known longer and just kept it secret from me, so because you knew I was going to fall apart. But Long Island's own. I don't think Evan Weiss died. No, I think he's
okay. I
fine.
didn't know where you were
I
going.
believe Evan Weiss is okay. I haven't spoken to him, but I think he's okay. Doug Hildeman.
Yeah, well,
away.
he passed away a while ago.
Yeah, I did not
but
know
I
that.
remember you had just found out.
Yeah.
Great guy.
I was a big Doug Hildeman guy. I liked him a lot. I know that he was a very opinionated guy and
Very
and
opinionated.
Very left.
We went at it.
Yeah.
Doug and I. And, went at it pretty bad sometimes. And I'll tell you Doug Hildeman's story in a minute. But a phenomenal guy. He had a wife, Kelly, who passed away several years ago as well.
Yep.
And she was just a lovely person also.
So sweet.
And I was fairly new in comedy. We used to, Doug and I actually used to book a room for an open mic in Island Park.
Okay.
It was above a billiards hall.
Okay.
Nobody ever came. It was
No.
me and Doug and his wife.
Yeah.
And,
Kelly. Yeah.
yeah. But he was a sweet guy, very opinionated, very, very liberal. We'd fight all the
Yeah.
time.
So he was as left as you were right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And he had 3 of his Facebook accounts unfriended me. And
Yeah.
He had like 17 Facebook
Yeah,
accounts.
yeah.
But I'll never forget the day that his wife died. And I never hung out with him socially. I'm not like very, very close with Doug.
Yeah.
We booked the room together. We had, we would talk every now and then.
Right.
I wrote him a message on Facebook. I said, Doug, I'm really sorry. If you want to talk or anything, if you need anything, just feel free to give me a call. Not even 2 minutes later, I get a fucking phone call. I'm like, nobody really means that.
Right.
You're not really supposed to call me.
You're as disingenuous as they come.
I'm like,
There's no way you
I
meant
don't want
that.
to talk to this guy. And
Wow.
yeah, so he actually called me, and I'm like, what the fuck am I going to say? I'm like, that's just something you say. If you need anything, call me.
Right.
They're not supposed to call
You're
the
like,
person.
not today, I didn't mean.
Yeah, I didn't mean 30 seconds after your wife died.
So how long was that conversation?
It was long. It was like an hour long.
Wow.
And I'll never forget it. He was crying, and I'm doing everything but listening to what he's saying. I'm watching
The whole time he's like, I hope my best friend Mike Keegan calls. I just need to speak to Mike.
I look at it, and it wasn't even like a regular phone call because we didn't have each other's numbers. It was a Facebook.
Oh my God! You had a condolence call on a Facebook audio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That just reeks of lack of real friendship.
Yeah, and I know exactly. But he
Oh,
called
man.
me. You don't really. If somebody tells you, here's a little piece of etiquette. Somebody
Yes.
tells you if you need anything, call me. Don't fucking call them. It's weird.
Hey, listen, I know that from firsthand experience, and nobody wants me calling them ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
No one ever picks
Good
up
or
the phone
bad,
when I
yeah.
call. Yeah. But I it's funny. I had met Doug. He took Walker's comedy class a few times.
yeah.
And I used to go and sit and hang out. This was probably a year or two after I graduated from the class. And he once wrote a joke about vas deferens, which is the part of the penis that delivers semen to the testicles, I believe it is.
Oh, I'm aware.
And he wrote of course you are. Of course you are. Who am I talking to? And he wrote a joke, and it was kind of like a punny wordplay kind of thing. And he delivers the joke, and the comedy club of 10 students and Walker and Bales and half, it couldn't have been quieter in there. Like, it sounded like everyone had left. And then all of a sudden, I explode with laughter in the back of the room. And we messaged that night. I'm like, I want you to know that's a great joke. I hope you keep on using it. And he did, and it never worked because it's one of those jokes that most people aren't smart enough to get.
Yeah, except for Mark Herschy.
Yeah, well, basically, yeah. But so we bonded on a semen carrying joke.
You bonded on
Yeah.
a joke about a
Vas deferens.
a tube in your penis.
Yeah, basically, and that's how we met.
That's
so
exactly how we met.
Yeah.
And that was no joke, though. I'll tell you that. But,
heyo.
but
So rest in peace.
Rest in penis, Doug.
Rest in penis. Doug Hildeman, a great guy. Bernard McGurk and Angela Lansbury. Fucking Christ Almighty! Yeah, I hope he's up there. Remember,
He would appreciate that.
He would appreciate that. He would. And the fact that we're doing a memory thing about him like a year after he died
Yeah, exactly.
is pretty pathetic.
Yeah, I know.
Because I just randomly went on his page the other day. I thought about him,
Really?
and then the first thing I see is...
Did you know that he was sick?
I knew nothing about
you
it.
didn't even know
I
that he
knew
was
nothing.
sick, so this is just,
no, I knew nothing. And then I see like, Doug, I miss you so much. I can't believe it's been a year. I'm like, well, that's a lot for someone to write on someone's page, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, where's he been or where's she been?
Yeah.
And then the more you read, the more you see that he's
massive stroke, and his brother was like
Fuck.
updating his stuff. Feel bad. He had a young daughter, and he loved her very much.
No, his daughter graduated high school with Samantha.
Did
I
she
know,
really?
I know
Oh,
her
really?
daughter's
Oh, wow.
name's Amanda. Yeah, I
Oh,
know
no
who she
shit.
is. Yeah, she graduated. As a matter of fact, I went back, as I always do when someone dies. I go back to the Facebook Messenger to see what my last correspondence was. And my last correspondence with him was at high school graduation 2 years ago when... it was Hofstra. It was like 245 degrees outside. It was an outside graduation, and we messaged each other that we couldn't find each other. I'm pretty sure he wasn't looking for me, and I don't remember looking that hard for him.
Yeah.
But we did correspond.
Where are you, Doug? I'm sweating my vas deferens off.
Exactly. I'm like, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that was my last correspondence with him. And that was
See
it.
if I could see my last one with him.
Yeah, see what your last one is.
Air.
Tony, do you have any remembrance of Douglas Hildeman? You have no remembrance of him at all?
I did not know him personally, no.
No, yeah. He came around a little bit. Like
He was always on and off, too.
Yeah, but
comedy.
you came on the scene a little bit later, I think, than...
Well, I knew who he was,
Yeah.
but no, I never...
well,
yeah, I never.
you would have enjoyed him. He was a smart guy, and he's a funny guy.
March 2nd, 2018, I asked him if he could do a show on April 30th.
Oh, wow.
He wasn't able to because he had a new job.
Okay, right. So you guys had been super tight
Yeah,
there.
very,
Yeah.
I asked him if he could do a show.
That was nice.
Yeah.
No, that was nice. So definitely good thoughts about him and Bernard and what was the other one? Ladsbury.
Angela, yeah, I'd read my last message with her,
Yeah.
but it's filthy.
It's disgusting. Yeah. You're like, what is that? Turn your phone upside down.
Is that oyster throwing up?
There are kids listening. Max is outside listening. Jesus
Hershey
Christ.
and the Keegs Show.
Speaking of outside, I want to know your opinion on something. So this is a conversation that I had at my day job the other day. I know it's hard to believe that with all this fame and success that we have day jobs, but we do. You know, it's probably more for the benefits, I guess.
It is. It
You know,
is,
just
yeah.
to stay
Something
humble.
to fall back on. Stay humble. That's what it is.
Stay humble. We knew we would say something.
I mean, we don't need them.
No. So I'm it's like a rainy day within the past week or so, and my colleague, and I call her my best friend, Dana, who was in the office next to me. I say that she's my best friend. I don't even think she barely considers me an acquaintance, but we talk. You know, I like her a lot, and she's like, "Oh, I got to go get gas. It's raining out," and I'm like, "So what's the big deal?" She's like, "I'm gonna get freaking soaking wet." I'm like, "Why? Don't you stay in the car?" And she's like, "No, what are you talking about?" I'm like, she's like, "No, you fill your own fucking gas tank." And I'm like, "I don't."
It's unheard of. Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, "What are you in New Jersey?" I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. She's like, "No, you fill up your own gas tank." I'm like, I don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to know. I go to a gas station on Wantoy Avenue, one of those like fake, real. It's not like a Sunoco, but it's like a Sumoko or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And it's a bunch of like, I think it's like a Turkish family, and we bond over pleasantries, but we don't talk that much. Is it bizarre that I don't fill up my gas tank? That I go self-serve? That
It's
I don't
not.
go
I
self-serve?
do it. I'll literally drive a mile past a self-serve place just to go to a place where I know it's full service.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, I don't feel as bad if they provide full and self. I don't feel as bad going to the full service if they only do full service.
Oh, I'll only go to a full serve. I won't go to a self and full.
There's a place on Merrick Road in Merrick. And they constantly rip me off. It's full serve.
Yeah.
And constantly I'll be like, "Can you put 25 regular in?" And be like, "Oh, sorry, my friend, I put 30 in by accident," like 4 times in a row. And I still go back to that place every time.
still
it's
do.
convenient and it's full serve, and I don't have to get out of the car.
And they just keep on spreading your cheeks.
They just keep on doing it. I'm like, "Oh, sorry, here's another $5, even though my tank can't probably hold that much."
But
they're lying to me.
So I don't know. Is that a thing where people
It's
mostly?
a thing. A lot. I guess if you're a guy, people frown upon you if you don't
Really?
pump your own gas.
Oh, I guess I get frowned upon then.
And I remember I would drive with, it was probably Carla when we first started dating.
Yeah.
And she would pull up to a self-service pump, and we're like both sitting there awkwardly. She's like, "You're not gonna get out and pump my gas?" I'm like, no. There's like a full service place right up there. They'll do it for
Right,
you.
yeah.
She's like, "Yeah, but it's like a gentlemanly thing to do."
Oh,
And I'm
jeez.
like, no, why do it? I'll wait till I get to Jersey a lot of times to put
Yeah.
gas in my
No,
car.
I'll just go to Jersey in general to get gas, so I don't have to get out.
Exclusively. Yeah.
Yeah. Although today I did have a little bit of a circumstance that, so I've been going to the place across from MacArthur High School, the Sumoko or whatever it's called, and it's cheap, and I think it's probably the same cost as if you go to a self-serve of a legitimate place.
Yeah.
So I'm paying the same price. And I think they're like Turkish or Croatian or It's like something I think it's something like that.
Something there was a genocide in there.
Something with genocide related.
Yeah.
So today I pull up to the guy and I give him, and so the guy who is there today it seems like a newbie, like not a young man. Looks like he's probably in his 50s or 60s, but he looks like he's ingratiated with the other guys who I know.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he just came here and they threw him right to work.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know.
When they come over in the storage container, and then
He just came in the back of a storage container, and so I give him my credit card. I say, give me $35.87. I talk the lingo.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
I say regular.
No, $35.87.
$20 regular.
So I give him the card, and he comes back, and maybe 10 seconds later, he's like, yeah, Beko, and I'm like, Tony, you don't have to hold in the laughter. We want to hear you laugh. What are you holding it in for? We fucking want you to hear you laughing. Why are you holding it in for? Tony's sitting there. It's like he's hysterical laughing. People can't see him on camera.
Purple.
They don't even know that he's cracking up, pissing his pants. So let it go, Tony.
You don't need to hear my cackling.
No, it's good. It's good.
My annoying.
No, it's good. We want to hear that. It's excellent. So he looks at me and goes, yeah, Beko. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a fucking clue what he's saying. So I give answers to him of whatever I think would possibly be a question in this situation. And I said, no, it's not a debit card. It's a credit card. No, yeah, Beko. So I'm like, what the fuck could he possibly be saying? And I'm hoping that the other guys see that there's some sort of a thing going on here.
Flagging them down.
Something. And I'm even looking at them, and they almost are like, no, he's going to do this, and you can figure it out, fuckface. Fucking lazy pig who can't get his fucking gas pumped somewhere else. Yep. So, again, one more time. Yeah, Beko. And I'm like, no, I'm like, oh, okay. The gas, it opens itself. Like, you don't need a key or anything like that. Yeah. And then, like, he's starting to get a little bit pissed. No, yeah, Beko. And I'm like, I'm not going to get gas today. I'm not going to fucking get gas.
I would have already peeled out and just went to the next fucking place.
So I'm uncomfortable now. I don't want to leave. These guys know me.
He was saying Herschy and the Keegs show. That's what he was saying, right?
I'm like, what the fuck can he possibly mean? And then finally, I'm able to figure out, and I'm like, do you mean zip code? Because you need the zip code. Yeah, the code. And I'm like, how the fuck is...
How did you get that?
Well, because I couldn't... I'm trying to think of all the things.
Of elimination.
Like, do you want me to check your oil? Do you want me to, clean the back of the windshield, whatever the hell it is? Debit card, credit card, cash. So I run out of options. Yeah. And then finally I figured out, Yabako is... Yabako means...
So at least now we know how to say zip code in Turkish.
Right. But I don't even think, like, you can make the call for code, you can get that. But Yabba code. I'm like, that's not zip code in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I think
dude, I was fucking sweating.
I'm like, in Turkey, the Z's are Y's.
Is that
now
it?
in Spain, like the L's are R's or something. I don't know what they do.
Listen, I don't know what the hell was going on, but it was uncomfortable.
J's, the H's are J's.
Yeah.
Ja, 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 ja.
It was, no, that's Spanish you're thinking of. Ha, 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 J. Yeah, back up!
It was crazy. It's funny you mention that, like, because, like, not in Yabako.
Yeah.
But, so this weekend I'm doing shows in Jersey.
Yeah.
At
Comedy
Cove, Springfield, New Jersey.
I know what you're doing, lover.
2 9 p.m. shows, tickets on sale now.
Yes, sir.
So I'm doing 2 shows in Jersey. So today, right before I came here, I was getting gas.
Okay.
And I said, should I fill it up because I'm driving to Jersey? I said, no. I'm going to put 30 in right now. It'll get me through the rest of the week.
Dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
Yeah.
And then when I get to Jersey, that's where I'm going to fill it up because they fill it up for you, and you don't have to work. You don't have to feel emaciated. I mean, not emaciated.
No,
emasculated. Not getting out of the car.
Yeah, you often don't feel emaciated. You have dropped weight. You look wonderful, but emaciated is a stretch.
Emaciated, not yet. We're almost there.
So it actually led me to feel, and I've thought this before, and I am certainly not like you. I do believe that people from other countries should be here and and work here.
They should be here in a certain capacity, you know.
But I've always felt that if people from other countries are going to be working in situations, working here in the States where they're communicating with people here who generally speak English in most cases, the point person should be able to speak English.
Yes.
So if this guy was a mechanic and didn't have any contact with clientele at all, he could be yabba-going all day long. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
but the fact that he's
yabba-go till the cows come home.
right. That's usually what they call yabba-go, and all the cows come home.
Cows come
That's
home.
it. They all come.
Yeah, in Yemen,
But
wherever the fuck he's
The
from.
point is, like, when you go into the Chinese food place, the people in the back, usually they're screaming at each other, saying horrible things in Chinese.
Exactly.
They don't speak English, but usually it's a 13-year-old boy who's going for his master's.
Yeah, exactly.
He can speak English usually to take your order. Yeah. That should be the case. I mean, and again, this shouldn't come across as bigoted in any way, but
every place should have a 13-year-old boy.
You know what I'm saying, though? Like, shouldn't there be someone to be able to communicate?
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
Same thing. If we went to Yemen and you wouldn't want an English speaker taking your order.
I wouldn't go to Yemen and expect to work the front counter at McDonald's.
Yes.
I'm in the back fucking dipping fries in the
That's
grease.
right. Yeah, exactly. That's all I wanted to say. That's my point.
No, exactly, you racist Jew.
It's not. I hope you understood that. I didn't want it to be...
No, and I know exactly what you're saying. They should be able to work, but not be around normal...
They shouldn't be seen.
They should be working, not seen.
Shouldn't be seen or heard. Is that wrong?
They should be able to keep the wheels moving, but nobody should be able to see or hear them.
Just stay quiet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you're here, but I don't want to know you're here.
Just shut your fucking pie hole. Shut your goddamn pie hole.
Get on your fucking hamster wheel in the walking
You were in
cooler.
the goddamn back of a boat 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll have a new Yabako because you're going home.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
And
saying.
even that, like, he really doesn't have much that he has to say to you. Learn zip code.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
He doesn't have to say, good morning, sir. How's your day going?
I don't even need that. I don't even need
He
that.
needs to learn 2 words. Hello, boss,
Yeah.
and zip code. That's it.
That's anything. That's all. So, so that was kind of awkward. So it was almost a punishment from the whole Dana thing. When Dana's like, "Go fill your own fucking gas tank."
Yeah.
And that was my punishment because that's what happens to me. I can never get off scot-free with things.
Exactly. I'm the same way. I'm always emaciated.
Yeah, you're emaciated. This weekend actually was the first time in years that we did not have in the Hirschman house. Usually there's some sort of like a Columbus Day soccer tournament or something, but Anna is not playing school ball anymore, and Max, because he's put all of his energy towards basketball, is not playing soccer anymore. He might play with the school at some point, but it reminded me of, and I actually texted you, and thank you for getting back to me so quickly. If I ever told you the soccer tournament story of a couple of years ago when we did a big trip to Connecticut.
Yeah, no, you did not tell
We're
that story.
positive about this.
Positive.
Because I'm going to tell you the story.
Positive, because I listen to everything you say on air.
It's going to be pretty funny if I tell the story and everyone's like, "You're fucking kidding me with this goddamn story." It's like every other week they told that. Carlos Gomez and this fucking story.
Is Keegan going to talk about the time in the love seat with his buddy? And
Yeah. So you're sure that I didn't tell it?
Sure.
Okay. So this was a couple of years ago, and Anna's soccer coach, Coach Dana, who's a phenomenal person, good friend of mine, she decides that the Shockwave, that's Anna's soccer team, we're going to do a tournament in Connecticut. Okay. So we're booking hotel reservations, 2 nights in a nice hotel in Connecticut. She even planned a nice team dinner. We went to this restaurant, a whole big thing. So we get to the hotel. Now you can imagine that, the team full of girls, their siblings, their parents, long traffic riddled drive to Connecticut. By the time you get to the hotel, people are kind of giddy. Everyone's a little bit, the week's over, now you're in Connecticut, there's a hotel pool, everyone's having a great time. Obviously, everyone's having a great time except me because I have to be the helicopter dad, can never enjoy my life. And Max at the time is still young enough where he was probably old enough to be left alone in the hotel, but of course, it's Mark Hirschman, and that doesn't work. Yeah. So Max and these other siblings from the other girls, they're running around the hotel, and I'm chasing them like a big dick when they didn't need me to. Okay, so they wind up in one of the kids' rooms, and they hooked up their video games to the TV. And at one point, this one kid says, I want to go see my dad. His dad was in another room down the hallway. This guy, Howie, his name is. Great guy. Like a blue collar kind of guy, a little bit rough around the edges. Just I love him. Like everything.
Howie, damn glad to meet you.
Yeah, like everything about being a man that I'm not.
He pumps his own gas.
Yeah, he pumps his own gas. He's like a construction guy, and he's a hard worker, and usually overtired and shit like that. So the kids. They bust out of the room that we're in, and they fly down the hallway towards Howie's room, okay? Now, I know where they're going, so I'm not running at this point.
This numbs.
Yeah. Oh, my God, can you imagine? So mortifying. Yeah, bucko! So like, we get down there, and as the kids are ready to start blasting down the door of Howie's room, a couple comes off the elevator. Now, mind you, it's like 8:45, 9 o'clock on a Friday night. And they're probably like late 40s, early 50s. All I can tell you is that the guy reminded me of the father in that motorbike show where the father and son
American
choppers.
American Choppers.
That's what he looked like. This is
Paul Tuttle.
He looked like a Paul Tuttle guy,
Right.
He had white hair, mustache, big guy, So we get down to the room, and out of nowhere, you hear the guy just say, "You fucking kids shouldn't be running around in the hotel like that."
Really?
And I was like, "What the? Are you fucking kidding me?" So I walk past the guy as he's yelling to the kids, and for some reason, some sort of a manly power comes over me, and I turn to the guy like this, and I say, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" And as soon as I said it, I was like,
"What am I doing?"
I'm like, "Whoa, sorry, sir. Excuse me." But I didn't say that. I said, like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" Wow. So the guy has 2 bags of luggage, okay? And he takes them, and I remember it like it was yesterday, he drops them both.
I would run.
He drops them both. No, because my son was there, so I would never let my son.
I don't care. Max, you're on your own.
So
why are you running around, you little fuck?
So drops them, and he says, "Are we going to fucking do this?"
Whoa.
That's what he says. And I'm like,
whoa.
I cannot tell you the level of, like, I feel like I just was, like, in a surreal moment, like, out of my mind. Like, what the fuck? My blood pressure skyrockets.
You're the only adult in him?
That's it. But we're right near the door. We're near Howie's door, okay? Who was probably sleeping because he had been up all night, working, driving, whatever the hell he was doing.
Yeah, he was laying sheet metal.
Exactly.
I don't know if you lay sheet metal. I don't know if that's a
yeah,
thing
he
to
was
do.
doing something with sheet metal. I don't know. He was doing cutting it, lifting
I don't even
it,
know what you do.
cleaning it.
Hanging sheetrock.
Yeah, he was hanging sheetrock. He was doing Yebico. I don't know what he was doing. So I say to the guy, he says to me, "Are we gonna fucking do this?" And almost like God came from up above, the door blasts open. And it's Howie sitting there with a wife beater, boxer shorts, flip flops. He's like, "Let me get my fucking shoes on." He blasts open the door, and the first thing he says to the guy is, "I'm gonna break your fucking neck." Okay?
Yeah.
And this guy and his wife scurry. It was almost like hitting a stick and the cockroaches go flying.
Yeah, right.
This guy fucking runs down the hallway into his room, closes the door, because Howie knew that the guy was yelling at the kids, and he's defending his kids, whatever. And
you ever talk to my friend Mark Hirschman that way?
Well, he didn't need to see. He didn't even care. I was not even part of it in his mind. He didn't give a shit that I was there. But the funny thing is, Howie had always. He had like a little bit of a bad rap with the other parents on the team because like he'd like storm the sidelines a little bit and yell a little bit and like so if there was going to be an episode in the hotel, nobody was going to be thinking that it was me who was the precipitator of it. They was going to think it's him. So the event ends like that, and Howie gets dressed, and me and him go downstairs, and we walk into the elevator, and we walk into the lobby, I should say. The other parents are drinking, eating pizza, having a great time. By this time, the kids had already made it down there and told them what happened. So we get down there, and sure as shit, everyone who was down there is like, "You fucking kidding, Howie? What the fuck did you do? We're here on a soccer tournament. It's a nice weekend."
Meanwhile, it was.
And Howie's like, "No, I didn't do shit. It was him. He was the one."
Yeah. All right, Howie.
Nobody believed him.
Exactly.
Nobody believed him. I'm sitting there.
It was like you and
stuffing
Howie
fucking
got
pizza.
together, and Howie's like, "Dude, just take the rap for this one.
Yeah.
They'll never believe it was you." I think this was a honeymooners episode. My friend Harvey is gonna come. Oh, your friend.
This was
your friend Howie, and then Howie comes out and he's a monster.
So exactly, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So the next morning, Howie and I go to breakfast. We get on the elevator. The door opens, and it's fucking the guy and his wife on the elevator.
God, no.
And Howie, in classic Howie fashion, was like, "Good morning. How you guys doing?"
Nice.
Wouldn't give us a look. They wouldn't look at us at
Howie.
all. But it was so. Howie's always been one of my favorite people. That was one of my favorite stories.
You did not leave Howie's side the
Oh
whole
my
time,
God.
in case you run into that guy.
It was hilarious. So the weekend goes on. We go out. The fun stuff didn't stop, mind you. We go to the team dinner. As I'm pulling out of the parking spot, I smash my car into one of the other parents. So Stacy's minivan is all. So meanwhile, the two of us, we hit bumpers. Okay, we get out. Their bumper perfectly fine. Stacy's minivan crushed to smithereens like an accordion. So of course we were like, nah, we'll take care of it ourselves.
Yeah.
He had to get like a piece of whiteout to cover it, and I had to get a whole new fucking bumper.
Oh, jeez.
And then we went to the tournament, and it proceeded to rain, and the girls played through it in the hardest torrential rain you could ever possibly imagine. I posted videos before on Facebook a couple of years ago. So that was the thing that reminded me of this weekend, that soccer tournament that I wanted to tell you guys about. So thanks for getting through that with me, Tony.
And thank you,
and Mike.
Howie, because otherwise we probably wouldn't be here today.
It's probably true. It's probably true.
Tell the guy, I'm not here to fight. I'm here for a girls' soccer tournament. And then he's like, well, what position do you play?
They were there. I think the couple. So the hotel was a combination that night of people for a wedding and the soccer tournament, you know?
Yeah.
So, this guy, I can understand that this guy had gotten twisted if it was 11:30 at night and he wanted to go to sleep.
Yeah.
But it was like 8:45, 9 o'clock. But I would say that was probably the most masculine I've ever felt, and I'm riddled with estrogen. You know that.
Yeah, and at no point did you have to back down because Howie's right there.
But I didn't know that. But when I said that,
what would you have done if Howie
no?
didn't
But
show
hold
up
on a
there?
second. When I said what I said, it was without any knowledge that I was going to have any.
No,
Howie,
I know.
Yeah. And if you think differently, you want to fucking go outside.
Yeah, all right. Is Howie out there?
What were you thinking before Howie showed up? What went through your head?
It was almost like an out of body. Like I couldn't wrap my brain around what I was about to do.
I have to say this. This is when fight or
No.
flight
When
takes over.
I said what I said, it was totally reactionary because I saw that. It is like when you see that your kids are scared or something, you do react differently.
Yeah,
and that's kind of shit that's happened to me before, but not like this.
Yeah.
This was like who the fuck are you talking to?
I got into an argument one time with a mother from one other team of Carla's daughter's soccer team.
Mike got a fight with one of the mothers. Let's hear it. What'd you do? Pull her tit? I'm gonna give you a purple nurple.
No, this fucking woman. She
This is not gonna be as good as my
Carla's
story,
daughter
Tony.
Carla's daughter Isabella played. She was a goalie. She's
is
over
the older child.
The older one, yeah.
Yeah.
She's over 6 feet, and she
Okay.
was a great goalie.
Right.
And they were playing. I think a team from Baldwin. We were playing for Freeport.
Okay.
And this one girl on the team, she kept like diving into the net and trying to take out Isabella's knees, and the mother was like, get her, you gotta get her. No, when she ended up, Isabella was on the ground, and the mother said get her, she's down, get her.
What the hell?
Exactly. And I turned red. And
yes, you did.
I know. And I said,
not the usual pink.
not the usual pink. I was actually red. And I went over there and I said, you got a fucking problem? What are you doing? You telling your daughter to kick her while she's down? Are you out of your fucking mind, you bitch?
Yeah.
And yeah, so she backed down.
You're not fucking taking bullshit.
No, absolutely, she backed down.
Wow, Mike.
Her husband, on the other hand, no, her husband
great.
wasn't there. I checked.
I am proud of you. I didn't know you had that in
no,
you.
Look,
You
no, this
checked
is
first to make sure there was no
Exactly.
man
I'm like,
sitting
there's
around
No,
it. I
there's
didn't
no
know
guys
you-
around here, right?
I didn't know you had that in you.
I don't know the exact words I said, but I got in her face, and
Yeah.
she fucking backed down.
Where was Carla during this? Because I'm surprised Carla didn't rip her throat out.
Carla was there, and Carla would have absolutely ripped her throat back.
Yeah.
And that's why I took the lead, because I'm like, if Carla goes over there, she's gonna lose it.
Oh yeah, then we're going to be suspended and
yeah.
the whole thing. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna talk to her. Carla's gonna actually fight this woman.
Right.
So I went over there. And another time I got into an argument with Juliana, one of the referees at Juliana's
Okay.
soccer game. And he was,
Now that kid was 11. How old?
he was probably pushing 20, maybe.
So it's nice. You feel this shows you just your affinity for Carla's kids is that your reaction to things about them is like it's your
No,
those are your
absolutely.
kids.
Yeah, they're great
Yeah.
kids. Like the thing with Juliana was upset, and it was like a soccer practice kind of thing.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
You know, she got upset about something. She started crying, and the referee, who was probably about 16 years old.
Yeah, of course.
He said, "Come on, you got to move. You got to move. We got to keep this going."
Sure.
And I went up and I got in his face too. Me
Yes,
and
you
my
did.
dad. My dad came with me too.
Oh God.
And I'm like, you see the fucking girl's crying, and you're gonna tell her to move on?
Wow.
Have a little compassion.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little intimidated right
That's
now.
right. That's right.
Wow. Stop holding the laugh in, Tony.
I mean,
All right, listen.
I mean, if it was a grown man, I would have fucking said, "Okay, get the fuck out of there, Juliana." But you know,
Well, plus, Dad was behind you too.
plus my dad was there.
Dad
And
is
he's
your
my
Howie.
dad- and then my dad is my Howie because he's a tough guy.
His dad is a tough guy for sure.
Me and my dad got into a fight with somebody at a Yankee game.
Oh, let's hear this.
Actually, the two things I'll tell you. One time we're at a Yankee game, and this is when Jorge Posada was playing,
Mm-hmm.
and there were just these guys behind us, and they were hip hip Jorge the whole fucking time.
That was nonstop.
Nonstop. And finally, my dad's like, "Will you shut the fuck up?" And I'm like, "Oh God, there's four of them."
Yeah.
And
It's only 30,000 people yelling hip hip Jorge in the stadium. Yeah.
and so me and my dad, my dad and this guy had drawn back and forth, and I see the other two guys come, and I'm like, I got to do something. I actually stood up. We were sitting in the bleachers, so I stood up.
Oh, wow.
On the thing, and I was trying to like kind of calm everybody down.
Yeah.
And then the guy that my dad was arguing with was wearing Crocs, and my dad goes, "Nice Crocs, faggot." And I'm like, here we go.
Wow. Wow. That's Papa Keegs right there.
Yeah. And like now we're really gonna fight. But luckily the guys behind us had two friends that kind of calmed them down
Okay.
and brought them away. 'Cause
Wow.
they were being drunk and obnoxious. And then another time,
Now, will your dad hit a couple back or no?
not yeah he definitely will yeah
Yeah.
that day probably 'cause
But
we're sitting
I
in
guess
the
what I'm
bleachers.
asking is, was he reacting that way because he was a few in or no?
No,
just
because he's always that way. He's got a
Okay.
very low tolerance for anybody that's loud near him.
Right, who's having fun at a ball game,
Anybody
yelling
that's
for one of the
cheering
best
on the
players.
team,
The
anybody that's
gall,
cheering on the team that we're all there
the
to cheer on.
unmitigated gall to be yelling
Yeah.
at the Yankees' best player.
Exactly, yeah.
You're
I
wearing
know.
Crocs. So you
Yeah.
deserved it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, one time he did go against somebody that was on the rooting for the opposing team.
Okay.
There was this girl, 7, 8 years old,
Yeah,
sitting,
of
sitting
course.
in front of us.
Sure.
Her and her mother and her father.
Right.
And they were all big Boston Red Sox fans. They came from Boston to see the game.
Yeah.
And the girl had a sign, a Boston Red Sox sign. I forget who it was for.
Yeah.
She kept holding it up in front of us.
Oh my God.
And my dad's
What
like,
a
I can't fucking
savage.
see the fucking sign. She fucking puts the sign down at one point. My father fucking rips it up.
Wow. This explains a lot right now about your
It
dad.
definitely does. Yeah.
No, I understand the non-hugging thing right now. He's
Yeah,
filled
not
with,
a warm-
He's filled with rage, and range. I've seen him play shortstop. He's got a lot of good range.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, the Yankees are up 4-1.
Oh, good
Nice.
score
There you
update,
go.
Tony.
Perfect.
That's a good production move right there.
Segue right there. Thanks to Elizabeth Batterbeat, who's
Thank you,
who's,
Liz.
chiming
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
that was
I
very
love
nice.
Liz. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm kind of trying to watch it a little bit on the little screen you got there, but nice. I hope.
Yeah, I haven't really figured out.
What
There's
a-
got to be a better way to watch it through this. I've been
What
watching it,
a-
but I'm having a hard time gauging the score.
Exciting season. I will never forget where I was.
Sideways, so you get
Yeah,
the
it
full
wasn't working
screen.
when I tried to do that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
I'll
but-
never forget where I was when Aaron Judge hit that 60-second home run. Can you describe what went through your body when you saw him hit that ball out of the stadium for number 62?
I wasn't at Game 62.
No, I mean
60?
when you watched it on TV.
Oh,
When he broke the record.
I just got this.
Your Optimum was out, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
I'm fucking with you.
Right. I totally forgot. Yeah, it was just such a typical Mark Hirschman thing that we had been hit with some sort of a rainstorm, and then I find out through Facebook people are posting, and I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" That he just hit. He hasn't homered in like 37 days.
I know, today's the day.
And now he hits it.
Optimum.
Yeah, so it was just ridiculous.
I was a little bummed out. I watched every game up until there with my dad.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, we're gonna watch it together. We
Right.
saw 61 together. We saw number 60 together.
Yep.
But so 62, we're waiting. I had a show that night. It's a Tuesday night. I have a show out in Mount Sinai,
Ugh.
and they have the game on TV, no sound. So that takes away any of the
joy.
Any of the joy.
Yeah.
But also, Claudia Bonavita, comedian?
Yeah, of course.
She was on the show.
Okay.
And she was following it on her phone, which comes through about 30 seconds before the TV.
Ugh.
So she goes, he hit it. He hit the home run. I'm like, no, he didn't. I'm fucking watching the game right now.
Oh my God.
And she's like, no, there's got to be a delay on there or something. And then all of a sudden he hits it. And I'm like, oh, well, I knew that was happening.
That
So that
sucked.
kind of killed it for me, too.
I mean, not as bad as me.
Not as bad. I mean, at least
watching
I got to
people's
watch it.
awesome Facebook feeds.
Yeah.
I was just glad that it happened. It was over with, and listen. Obviously, we're not going to dig too deep on this because Tony's a big Met fan, and certainly I personally don't get any joy of the Mets losing unless it's against the Yankees. But that was a real sad ending to the Mets
It was.
season, and we.
I'm not a Met-hating Yankee.
Yeah,
fan.
I'm going to disagree with you. As Met fans, first off, I'm not a Yankee hater. I think it's ridiculous to hate the Yankees. All the great players that have come through, all the great moments
Yeah.
of baseball history. But as a Met fan, we get one game in the postseason. We're happy because we never expect to win. We were happy
Yeah.
just to have Old Timers Day back.
Well,
That's a win for us.
It was a great
But the
season for
expectations
you
you have
guys.
to
Old Timers
admit-
with Tom Seaver statue.
Right.
101 wins postseason.
Yeah.
Batting title.
Batting
title.
The
That's
expectations
huge.
were higher. You have to admit that the expectations were higher.
No, they weren't. I mean, yes,
I
because they
thought
won
for
101 games.
I thought
yes,
for
but-
sure they'd at least go past San Diego.
Yeah, I mean,
They had a-
you're
they had a team
disappointed
that
a little
could-
bit, and it's
They have a
okay.
team that could do some damage in the playoffs. They have great pitching.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? This offseason is going to be very interesting. DeGrom's
really
gone,
is.
I think.
DeGrom's
I think he's
Grom's
gone.
gone. They're going to get Judge. I don't know.
You think they're getting Judge? I don't think they're getting Judge.
Somebody is. I think he's going to
He's
go. I think
staying
he's going
at
to
the
go out to
Yankees.
California.
Really?
I don't think he's going to be with the Yankees.
I can
think
see him
he's
go to
staying.
San
It's
Francisco.
going to be interesting.
I think that the Mets are going to have a lot of turnover, but I also think that their ownership is going to spend the money and they'll have a solid team.
I didn't realize how many free agents the Mets have this
yeah.
year. Everybody's a fucking free
Everyone's a
agent.
free
Yep.
agent, but
Yep.
they'll be fine. This was a tough one, and again, my take is, and my buddy John I work with is the biggest Met fan ever, and I tell him all the time that I totally understand, and he's not a Yankee hater, but I kind of understand when Met fans don't like the Yankees and Yankee fans, because Yankee fans have done a lot of winning. They've been through a lot of winning experiences, and they tend to brag about it and be kind of, braggadocious. Whereas the Mets really haven't had a lot of winning.
Yeah.
So, I don't think that Yankee fans have any reason to shit on Met fans.
No.
But
Like a little brother.
if
Like
you're
a
a
little
Met fan
brother.
and you want to shit on the Yankees, I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. But hopefully the Yankees, as professional podcasters, we like things to talk about. So when the Mets not around, that's one less thing for us to talk about. Hopefully the Yankees continue their winning ways tonight. Tony just gave us a little update, 4-1.
Hopefully, I'll be at the game Thursday.
Oh, right. That's right.
It
Okay.
looks like it might get rained out. The weather is supposed to be
So
some weather.
it's going to be pushed back. What's the day
So
off?
Friday, they'll probably push it back till, but I'm not able to go Friday. I got
You have a
shows all
gig.
weekend, yeah,
Okay.
so.
Speaking of which, we're at the time for closing time. The thing that two things I want to cover, and then you can cover whatever you got going on. Danny Cohen is going to be on our show next week. He's going to be live via Zoom. Danny Cohen is a brilliant comic. He's a great friend of mine. You know him, obviously. He's going to be a terrific guest. I'm super excited about that. And also, I don't know how many tickets are left, But certainly, if you want to see me and Mike perform live together, similar to this past weekend, go to govs.com, govs.com. Go to the November 18th show in the Giggle Room. Herschy, Keegs, Carla Okerson, Tom McGuire, Peter Hirsch from 5 o'clock shot, 8 o'clock shot.
Well, 5 o'clock in California.
Right,
West
that's
Coast.
what I meant. Exactly. Jay Christopher, they call him Fat Jay. I don't like calling him that. It's going to be a great show. Again, it only holds about 90 to 100 people, that room.
Yeah.
So I assume it's probably mostly sold out. But if you want to go online tonight to pick up those tickets. And Mikey, we can close out with whatever you have to promote.
We're going to have fun. Just this weekend, if you're in or near Jersey, I will be at the Comedy Cove in Springfield, New Jersey. I believe tickets are probably near sold out. It's I'll be with Nicky Smiggs. I don't know if you know him. He's a viral guy. Not that he's sick.
No, Smigs is a virus, I think.
Yes, it's the Smiggs.
Yeah.
Smiggs Simplex 4. He does great impressions. He does a great impression of the Sebastian and Pete podcast, and he plays both Pete Correale and Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay, cool.
Good guy, gonna be funny. So, and I know he's got a huge following. So tickets are probably almost gone. So Comedy Cove Friday, Saturday, and of course, as always, check out shows here at Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, and McGuire's out in Bohemia. The Giggle Room here has always got stuff going on. Listen to the Club's Comedy Club Radio and all the great shows on there.
Yep.
And thank you guys for listening. We need it. You know, we appreciate it, and it makes us feel good, and it gives us an hour to be with good
Each
friends.
other. Yeah. So
And not even each other, with you guys.
With you guys.
We consider you our family. We
do.
We don't consider you fans.
Right.
I don't like to call people subscribers. You're
No,
family.
because it makes us feel like we're better than you, and even though we know we are, we don't want to seem like that.
we don't want to seem like that. So
Yeah.
we call you friends. We call you family.
Right.
We're all in the same boat together.
Right.
Me and Mark are like the captains of the ship,
Right.
and you guys are the ones that
You're steering the boat.
steering the boat. Like
Yeah.
were those slaves?
I think you're doing pom-poms. I don't know what he was doing. You guys roll the pom-poms around.
You guys do this.
We love you guys. Thank you very much. Make sure you like and share and keep on listening. We'll see you guys back Tuesday at 9 o'clock with the great Danny Cohen. Peace.
Later.